Something shifted in the spiritual realm exactly when that person walked out of your life. And what happened next has left every divine force in the universe in absolute silence. This was not a breakup. This was not a falling out. This was not abandonment. What occurred was a surgical removal, precise, deliberate, and authorized from the highest level of cosmic administration. The moment that person stepped away from your story, a blocked frequency that had been suppressing your destiny for months, possibly years, was instantly cleared. Heaven did not mourn that departure. Heaven exhaled. And now every door that was sealed is beginning to tremble. In the entire recorded history of spiritual law, a blocking force of this particular category has never been removed this cleanly, this completely, or this quickly. Normally, when a soul is entangled with someone misaligned, the extraction process takes years of painful lessons, repeated cycles, and slow emotional erosion. But your case was different. The Divine Council reviewed the entanglement and determined that the damage being caused to your trajectory was so severe, so compounding, that standard protocol was bypassed. An emergency removal was authorized. What should have taken years of gradual separation was completed in a single event. This speed alone tells you everything about how urgent your destiny is. Now think carefully about the last 48 hours. Since that person left, or since you finally accepted they were gone, something inside you has been quietly different. A weight you had normalized, a tension you had stopped noticing because it had become constant, began to lift. You may have mistaken that feeling for grief. But pause right now and ask yourself honestly, beneath the sadness, is there a strange, unfamiliar sense of space? Of air? Of possibility? That feeling is not confusion. That is your true frequency returning to its natural state after being compressed for so long by someone who was never meant to stay. What you were never told is that this person was being used, consciously or not, as a monitoring instrument by forces that did not want you to reach your next level. Dark forces do not always attack directly. Sometimes they place people in your life who drain your energy slowly, who cloud your judgment gently, who make you question your worth quietly. And divine forces watched as this happened, documenting every moment your light was dimmed by that connection. Every opportunity you missed because your attention was locked on maintaining something that was quietly consuming you. Both sides knew this person had to go before you could move. They watched when you stayed in that situation, long after your instincts told you to leave, because your loyalty would not allow you to walk away without trying everything. They watched when you made yourself smaller, so that person would feel comfortable, sacrificing your voice, your vision, your boundaries. They watched when you cried privately and still showed up the next day with grace. They watched when you were offered clarity, through friends, through signs, through that quiet inner knowing, and you chose to give the benefit of the doubt one more time. Every one of those moments proved the depth of your character under the specific pressure of misaligned attachment. When the full record of your conduct within that relationship was presented before the higher councils, every sacrifice documented, every suppression of your true self cataloged, every moment you chose love over logic, the beings who classify souls according to their endurance and purity looked at your case and marked it, with a designation reserved for only the most spiritually mature. You had stayed too long not out of weakness, but out of a love so genuine it bordered on the sacred. That quality, the ability to love deeply without becoming bitter when that love is not honored, is extraordinarily rare and extraordinarily powerful in the cosmic classification system. And when that classification was sealed and sent upward, it traveled through every layer of divine administration until it reached the archangels who govern transitions, the ones assigned specifically to the removal of blocking forces from destined paths. They reviewed your record and confirmed that the removal had been not only necessary, but long overdue. And then the report ascended further to God, who looked at you Not at your pain, not at your tears, not at the version of you that was shrinking inside that connection, but at the version of you that exists in divine blueprint, the one that was being suffocated. And God said, "Enough." And from that decree, something permanent was set in motion. The removal of that person was not just an emotional event. It was a structural reconfiguration of your entire life's architecture. Every resource, every opportunity, every divine connection that had been rerouted around that blocking presence is now being redirected back toward you. The delays you experienced were not punishment. They were accumulation. Everything that could not reach you while that entanglement existed has been held in a kind of cosmic escrow. And the moment the blockage was cleared, the release was authorized. What is coming toward you now has been building pressure behind a dam that no longer exists. You are not who you were inside that connection. The identity you carried in that relationship, the one that apologized too much, that over-explained, that made itself invisible to keep the peace, that is not you. That was the compressed version of you, the version produced under the sustained weight of misalignment. Your true identity is ancient, expansive, and sovereign. You are a soul that was placed in this era to demonstrate what it looks like to love without losing yourself, to give without dissolving, to endure without becoming hardened. A person who left did not take anything from you. They took their hand off your throat. Your mission now is not to find a replacement. Your mission is not to prove to anyone that you are fine. Your mission is to expand fully, unapologetically, and without the invisible ceiling that connection had placed over your life. You are being assigned to demonstrate what wholeness looks like after loss, to show the world that grief and growth can exist simultaneously, that you can honor what something meant while accepting that it had to end. Your presence in your own healing, your refusal to collapse, your decision to move forward with dignity, that is your mission, and it begins the moment you stop crying for what was removed for you. And because your mission is now unobstructed, the material world is beginning to rearrange itself around your true trajectory. Opportunities that were invisible while that connection existed are about to surface. People who carry the frequency you were always meant to connect with are being moved into your proximity. Financial channels that were inexplicably stagnant are beginning to flow. Your clarity of thought, which had been clouded by the emotional weight of that entanglement, is returning, and with it, the ability to make decisions that actually align with where you are going. The life that was waiting for that person to leave is now arriving. As you step into this cleared space, something will begin to happen around you that you did not plan and cannot fully explain. People will start coming to you in their own grief, their own confusion about relationships, their own pain around loss, and something in the way you hold your story, the way you speak about what you endured without bitterness, will reach them in a place that no rehearsed advice ever could. You will become a living demonstration that removal is not rejection. That loss can be a form of love from the universe. That what walks away sometimes does so because something greater is walking toward you. And you are not the only one receiving this message right now. Across the world, thousands of souls are simultaneously processing the departure of someone who is quietly blocking their next chapter. They cried the same tears. They questioned the same questions. They felt the same disorienting mix of grief and relief and guilt for feeling relieved. They are waking up at the same time you are, realizing that what felt like the end of something was actually the clearance of everything. This is a coordinated activation, a global release. And every soul that accepts this reframe becomes part of a network of people moving forward instead of backward. If this message found you today, something greater than the algorithm placed it in your path. Do not let this moment pass without responding to it. Comment 777 below right now. Let the universe and everyone watching know that you received this and that you are choosing to move forward. Share this with someone who is still crying over a door that closed, because they need to hear that the closing was a gift. Subscribe so that the next transmission reaches you, because what follows this message will show you exactly how to walk into everything that the removal just made room for. Stay until the very end. Your breakthrough is not behind you.